Hey everyone, and welcome back to Lusatia and episode 12 and the final part of this Let's Play series. So what we've got to do today is continue with our harvest. We've got our 2 fields of sunflowers to do, and then we're going to sell off the grain we've got and the rest of the corn and our wool as well. So what I'm going to do to start with is get the combine started with a worker. Also need to just check this header actually works with this combine. I've not actually used this header before at all in the entire FS17. So 2 years, and it's the first time I've ever used this particular in-game header. So we start this up, and yeah, that's working. So I'm going to set a worker off on this and just check it's just going to go up and down. Nope. Oh no, it doesn't matter. We'll leave it going round for now. It can do a couple of headlands, and then we can go and sell the corn. So we need to empty the trailer. We've got the corn that's still in there from doing the cornfield in the last episode, so we can go and sell that and then come back and unload the combine and then carry on with the harvest for that. So the current best price for this is still the same price we went last time, which is down by field 14. Just try and work out the best way to get there. So I'm sure you've all seen now, there's lots of FS19 videos on YouTube, as all the early access videos started going up yesterday. I watched quite a few. I'm really looking forward to playing it now. The more I've seen some of the videos, the more I like. There are a few things I think are still a little bit basic, especially with the placeables and the focus on building your own farm. There doesn't seem to be many options in silos and sheds and buildings at the moment. So I'm presuming that's another one that's over time, when all the mods start coming out. A lot of mods for things like that are going to start coming out, because it does look a bit limited. I'm not keen on the way the ground deformation works. It does look like that it is probably highly recommended that you save your game before placing any building, because once it changes the terrain, there's no changing it back. So you definitely looks like you might benefit from saving your game before you place anything, so you can reload it if it doesn't quite work out the way you want it to. So that's another 18,600 euros for that full load of grain, corn, which is not bad. It's taken us up to 221,000 euros. Considering it's only been a short time on the series, we have made quite good progress. I'm sure if it was a longer series over time that we could make some really good progress on here. I buy quite a lot of fields and a lot more equipment. The greenhouses do require some manure, but not too worried about that now. And we've got 3 full wool pallets and a 4th one filling up now, so should get quite a bit of money off the wool when we come to sell that in a bit. So let's head over to the field and see how the combine's getting on. Okay, so he's just gone up to 40% full, and he's on his second pass around the field. So what we're going to do is, so if we leave the trailer up here, and then we can jump in and take over. And by the time we get round again, we're not going to be full, so we can unload the combine there and then carry on with the field. So if you watched any FS19 videos, I know with them out now, this series was never going to get many views anyway. It's probably going to get even less on this one, because everyone's going to be too interested in watching FS19 videos. So, but if you are watching this, one of those few that do watch it, have you watched any FS19 videos? What do you like the look of? Is there anything in particular you don't like the look of? Interesting to hear what other people have thought so far on it. And are you actually getting the game? I should have it Tuesday, hopefully, so I can get the first video up. Still need to try and finish off the time lapses, which I'm a little bit behind. Last night's video didn't get uploaded in time, so I've actually published that this morning. So it's currently like coming up to 7:30 Friday morning, so hopefully this video will be up today. And I think it was the Baltic Sea time lapse, excuse me, yeah, the Baltic Sea time-lapse video was up this morning, which should have been up last night. And this morning should have been the penultimate part of the Shamrock Valley time-lapse series, which I may publish today just to try and catch up, and then get the last part of that up tomorrow, so that series is finished off. And with the Baltic Sea, I was going to do another year in game, but I really don't think it's going to be worth it now. I may just finish it after the end of this year, in-game year. So once we've tidied up, we've just finished off the harvest in the episode up this morning, so I may just finish off selling off some of the rest of the stuff in the next episode and calling it a day on that one. And I'm not sure. So it's 73%. If we unload now, so unload this and then we'll carry on with the field. So we've only got this field to do and field 11, and what I'll probably do is time lapse the one field. I'll finish this one off, as we've not got a huge amount to do in this episode. So we just start going up and down now. Got a couple of headlands in. So I've been thinking, and I know I said in the last episode about just doing the 2 time-lapse videos for FS19, but I really do want to do a Let's Play as well, so I am thinking of doing Ravenport as a Let's Play, which I previously said I was going to do, and kind of changed my mind a little bit. So it'll be the time-lapse on Fellsborough and then the Let's Play on Ravenport, and I'm probably going to start off with both, with the Farm Manager, which is the medium mode, where you start off with no equipment, no land, so we don't start off with any land or any equipment at all. We do start off with 1.2 million, which sounds like a lot of money, but when you've got to buy land, tractors and other things, that's not going to go very far. So yeah, it's the other mode, which is like starting from scratch, where you only start with 500,000 and no land or equipment, and that 500,000 is all loan. Plus with that one you've got lower prices for what you get, so when you do harvesting, you're not going to make as much money back off that. So I can see that one being fairly slow progress, but it is one mode that at some point in the future I'd like to have a go on. I may at some point, depending on the series go, how far we progress and that, swap over the 2 maps for the time lapse and the Let's Play, and do a Let's Play on Fellsborough as well, and then the time lapse on Ravenport. Depends on mod maps and how long they're going to take to come out. There is one great benefit to using a proper sunflower header is you can combine a hell of a lot faster than using the corn header. So this is quite rapid at 14 kilometers an hour. Yeah, so it's not going to take too long at all. So this might be a bit of a shorter episode. I'm not sure. If I don't keep missing these little bits that are probably not worth going back for how much you actually get. It just makes it look a little bit tidier. So we'll start on Farm Manager. I'm thinking hopefully I can get the game early enough on Tuesday that I can have a good look around the map first and try and pick out a good starting area. With obviously the placeables thing and the way the land deforms, we could try and find somewhere that's reasonably flat, so you're not spending a fortune on adjusting the land. 'Cause obviously the placeable buildings have a price for the building, but then depending where you put them, it changes the price of the cost of installation. So if you have to do a lot of groundwork, then it gets quite expensive. So you can easily eat through that 1.2 million just in putting buildings down. So trying to find somewhere that's a reasonable price, got a decent sized field with it, and has got a reasonably large flat area that you can put some buildings down. Somewhere probably a bit different from the standard starting point, which a lot of other people have used. Despite using the different mode and placing their own buildings, they've pretty much started off where you'd start off anyway. I'm trying to find somewhere a little bit different. And hopefully, I know they did mention in one of the streams that they are working on a way of like being able to paint the terrain in game, so you'll be able to like put tarmac down or concrete. I'm not sure why they didn't just do something similar to the ground modification roller game, whether that's something that they can't get to work on console, but the fact it was a mod on PC shows it can be done. So not sure how they're going to come up with that system for doing it, but it is something they need to do, because if you just put buildings on the grasslands, you're going to have to drive over the grass to access the buildings, which isn't going to look great, but it's one of those things at the moment. Part of the base game, you just have to hope that they sort that out soon. So we are 69% full. So we'll probably come back up, unload the combine again, and there's not much left of this field then. Yeah, so no, not sure if a lot of you have seen with the new animals for the base game maps for the placeable systems that there is a limit depending which size enclosure you purchase. I think the large cow one is a maximum of 200 cows, So gone are the days on that one where you can have an infinite number of cows in your pastures. Can't remember what the size was for the smaller one. I think it may have been about 50 or 70 or something like that. I did mention in the last video about the horses. Yeah, that really is something that I've got no interest in at all, to be fair. I may get some in the Let's Play just to have a look at, but the fact that I think on one of the streams they showed the horses, and the information bar said you need to ride the horses every day to get the fitness level up, which I really think that is going to become a tedious task to try and do the horses. But younger players may enjoy it, and it's a new feature that, you know, is going to appeal to some people. But yeah, it's definitely not something I've got any interest in. So I won't be doing horses very often. I can see that, unless there are some mods that do come out that kind of change the way the horses work in the future. On that we'll see. But yeah, I may get a dog and just have running around the farmyard. Would be nice if you could choose different dog breeds. I'm not sure if you can. I'm not really seeing much about the actual dogs. I know they don't follow you around. I think they stay pretty close to where you place the kennel. They'll only follow you around in that area when you're there. They don't like follow you across the map or jump in vehicles or anything like that. So not sure if you can name the dog or choose different breeds of dog or anything like that either. Hopefully you can, but we'll see. But again, it's not one of those bit of an element of the game that doesn't add anything to the game other than a bit of novelty, to be fair. Right, so probably another few passes on this and this field will be done. I don't think we'll get a full trailer load from this, and then we'll head over to field 11. One of the other things I did notice in one of the streams was the weed system, and I did mention before about wondering whether weeds grow on harvested fields or whether it's only when you're growing crops, but they do grow, I think, pretty much on any field state if you leave it long enough over the different growth stages. So after you've harvested a field, if you've got growth on fast before you finish clearing all the straw up, you can end up picking up straw in a field full of weeds, which is a little bit stupid. Watching somebody drive through a field with a baler picking up the straw, and they've literally on stage 2 weeds, so they've just got large weeds everywhere, looked a bit weird, and trying to pick up bales in that as well. It's good that you do get weeds on all stages, because obviously if you leave a field long enough it's going to start growing weeds. But I do believe you can just ploughing or cultivating the weeds if you've finished the harvest, so you don't have to spray them, because I think they'll just grow back again when you seed the field anyway. I'm not sure on that exactly, but that's just the way it looks from what I've seen. But the weeds do look a bit excessive. When you've got a harvested field that you're still working in, you've got all these weeds popping up. It does look a bit weird. So let's get this unloaded, and then we'll head over to field 11 and get that finished as a little short time lapse, and then we can go and sell the rest of the stuff.
I know it's a little bit too much for sure. So cold, but we're always coming back for more. It goes in this wicked game, it's all for sure. Oh, I've got you. If we figured out what it's all about, takes a second and then we're back it again. Coaster ride for the triggered minds, but I don't ever want us to stop it. Go ahead, let me smile for all I care. Just wanna stay close, don't take that. Ain't gonna leave you. I don't wanna sabotage. You're a million. Explode every time you go and slam the door. Adore how we always end up on the floor. We know how to push the buttons to the core. I've got you. If we figured out what it's all about, takes a second and then we're back it again. Coaster ride for the triggered minds, but I don't ever want us to stop.
Okay, so that's our harvest all finished. The trailer is full, so we need to go and empty that. If we just turn the combine off and see where sunflowers, the best price is not quite great at the moment, but the place next door is comparable to the other place, so we'll take it just here. Finish unloading the combine, then we can get the rest out of the silos and sell that off. So there should be around about 20,000 euros for this load. So that was 21,237 euros. So we're now up to 243,000. So if we just go and finish unloading the combine, we'll go over to the silo, top up the trailer with what's left in there. I think there's around about 10,000 litres. Yeah, 10,134 litres, and then we'll take that to the place where we took the corn. That's now gone up to 95. So we'll head over there. Okay, so we've got 17,507 litres of sunflowers, and this is all the sunflowers out of the silos and what was left in the combine. So that's going to take us over 250,000 euros. And there we go, that's the last of the sunflowers all sold. And what we'll do now is I'll head back over to the yard, and we'll try and take some of the wall pallets over to the spinnery and sell those off and see how much we get off those. Just do have the 100% pallet mod still installed, so we'll get double what the current price is, which for wool is 8,830 euros per 1,000 litres. So that's 17,000 per pallet. So we're probably looking at getting around about 34,000 for each pallet. So we'll get those picked up and we'll take them home. Not sure if I can fit them on the trailer we've got, the little single axle trailer. I don't think you'll be able to put them in there, and we can't carry all 4 at the same time, so I may have to just go and get a little flatbed trailer to use. Okay, so I've got the little Massey Ferguson flatbed trailer, and I've put the standard tyres and the front loader back onto the case. So if we can get these pallets loaded up. I haven't got a pallet fork, so I'm just using the bale spike. So we've got 4 complete, like 4 pallets, and a 5th one being filled up. I probably didn't put that trailer in the best place, but never mind. Yeah, might need to move that a little bit. If we can just drop that one down. Just going to move the trailer so we can actually load the pallets a little bit easier. So if we just drop it there, might make things easier. So we have generated quite a bit of wool actually. A lot more than I thought we would. So we just get those straps off and drop this down. What we'll do is I'll put the 4 4-1s on the trailer, and then we'll take the partial 4-1 just on the front of the tractor. We'll get this one on, and then we'll probably call it there. There is still some crops left in the silos, but we'll leave those for the next person for feeding the pigs. I don't want to leave them without anything at all. If we were selling all the animals off, selling all the pigs off, then I'd sell everything and see what total we got. But as it's just a short series, I just don't think there's much point in doing that. Oh, yeah, absolutely useless. This is something I'm gonna have to get used to with FS17 not having any sort of auto load, and there's no seed refill points. You do have to do everything via pallets and stuff like that. So yeah, something I'm gonna have to get used to very quick again. What I usually use in the time lapses, I'll set the trailer to auto load, but then still pick them up via fork, so you're not just picking stuff up off the floor. This pallet's not going to play nice. So wall's not heavy, is it? But at least try and flip it back up. There we go. I know in the real world, I was watching a program about a farm, well, YouTube video about a farm, and they was doing their sheep shearing, and they was saying that although wool's used more now because it's used for a lot more than just clothing, they use it for building material like insulation and stuff, so there is a bit more demand for it, but the price, they said, doesn't cover the cost of actually shearing the sheep for what they make off the wool, because they pay a contractors to come in to do the sheep, and they don't even cover the cost of hiring those people to do it to what they make off the wool. So I think it's definitely worth a hell of a lot more in FS than it is in the real world. Whether they've reduced the price or reduced how quick it is produced in the base game in 19 now, we will see. See very soon indeed. I'd be interested to see how much the eggs sell for as well. Now you've got the placeable chicken coops, and I believe the large chicken coop you can have up to 400 chickens. Obviously you do have to purchase them. I'm not sure if you have to transport the chickens in the trailer or whether you just buy them and they appear. So the sell point is somewhere around here. Oh, that's the first pallet sold. Well, we've got 8,600 for that first pallet, and it wasn't a full pallet. So you can kind of see how much we're gonna make off selling all this. So up to what, 320, 25. So that's rocketing up, and it's gonna be well over 100,000. So we broke 100,000. That's probably going to be close to 150. As we approach 400, are we going to break 400,000? Yes, easy. So that was 141,178 plus the 8,000. So there's nearly 150,000 euros for 4 1/4 wall pallets. So that's quite impressive, but I say that is partly down to that mod with the what is supposed to be the putting the sugar beets and potatoes into the boxes. You get double the price of selling them loose to make it a bit more worth doing it. But I have found out it does affect all pallets. I don't think that's intended in the mod, and whether that will ever get fully released on Mod Hub, because it's only on the beta section, I don't know now. But hopefully, if they've not done something similar in the base game, that you can sell palleted items for cheaper than you get more money for selling the palleted potatoes and sugar beets in 19 than you do for selling them loose, because otherwise there's, apart from boxing up the potatoes so you can store them to replant, there's not really much use in doing it. And I found that creating a lot of boxes just can cause your game to lag quite a bit as well. So we've finished with 402,000 euros, 965. So not bad at all for a short let's play. I have got a little bit boosted with the wall, with that pallet mod, but it is what it is. So that's the end of this short series. I say it was all just a test for me ahead of 19, just give me more of an idea of let's plays and how to go about, or how I want to go about doing them and film them, and trying to make sure that my audio, the microphone's all set up okay, and the video quality is reasonably different. A lot of the time lapses I have tried different rendering settings to try and combat YouTube's excessive compression. It's not so bad on let's plays, but on the time lapses you've got really fast moving video, and trying to reduce the compression on those where you get heavy pixelation at times is proving a bit difficult. I've followed a lot of YouTube videos on best rendering settings for the editing software I'm using. While they do work for standard videos, for the time lapses it's a little bit more difficult because it's such a fast moving image, especially when you're around the crops in the field. It does pixelate quite heavily at times, so still trying to work out the best settings for that to try and get a reasonable quality to file size, so I'm not spending hours and hours trying to upload, as I don't have the best internet in the world, unfortunately. So that's it then. So if you do have any questions, comments, suggestions, tips or feedback, then please leave them down in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, really do appreciate it. And if you've not subscribed to the channel yet, then please do consider subscribing. From Tuesday next week, we've got FS19 videos every day. And all I've got left to say is thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you again. Goodbye.